Hello Jen, so it's Ashwata here. I'll be presenting my research. The topic is analyzing the factors of influencing food expenditure. It's a study on public universities in Malaysia. Let's move on to next slide. The key issue and problem statement for my research is although the Malaysian government is trying to stabilize food prices, public university students still facing the high food prices, although the Malaysian government has made a lot of effort to keep food prices in check across the country. But one confusing issue is that public university students still have to pay a high amount of food. The cost of food of the university in campus has increased, adversely affecting their monthly food budget of the students. The loans ever by university students are insufficient to cover all their living costs that keep increasing. Regarding this issue, my proposed research focus on the constrained financial resource. Beside that, we also aim to study the other factors that influence food expenditure of public university students. I propose few research questions in examining the factors that influence the food expenditure of public university students in Malaysia. So the first one will be the what is the key determinant of food expenditure? How does the income level of public university students in Malaysia impact their food expenditure? Next will be the how does the level of financial literacy among public university students influence their food spending behavior? For the literature review, I had reviewed the empirical studies and theoretical studies to help in this research. For empirical studies, we studied income, financial literacy, and food spending. This incongruity underscores the complexity of the relationship between financial literacy and spending habits, and also highlighting the need of targeted intervention to bridge the gap. For the review of theory, we use Engel's law and life cycle hypothesis to understand how relevant they are in our research. For methodology part, we use few methods. So the first one, we use the questionnaire surveys to pass around public university undergraduate students for, especially for five public universities, which are UUM, UPM, and UKM and UNIMAS. Total respondents we got is 99 respondents, and we chose it randomly. Next, the sampling design was applied in this research, which is the convenience sampling design is the best way to get the target respondents quickly, because we shared Google Form links on social media. So next, we used the snowball sampling approach as well. We approach our friends with Google Form links to their other friends who enroll in target public universities in this research, and also requesting them to refer additional students as respondents for this survey. So we move on to the most important part in our research, which is the findings and discussion. So in these findings, there will be two important sections, which are the summary statistic and or less estimation. Based on the questionnaire, I come up with this summary stack table where I divided students according to its household categories, which is B40, M40, and D20. I got four variables as statistical significance, which are the food expenditure per day, average meals per day, and family support, which come under the income sources, and also the monthly income. Okay, so let's move on to our graph. The reason I put in graph so we can see the number, the fluctuation more clearer. So we can see that there is a slightly difference in food expenditure per day, monthly income between the household categories. The average food expenditure of respondent in this survey significantly depending on their respective household categories. So, students from the B40 categories reported the smallest amount of ringgit food expenditure per day, which is RM 15 ringgit 51 cents on average. On the other hand, students from T20 background spend the largest amount of money on food, which is RM 20 per day on average. Monthly income level between household categories, which with the B40 reporting is RM 558 ringgit 40 cents on average. And the T20 category student have monthly allowance per month on average is 783 ringgit 33 cents. So the average means that student consume also dependence on their monthly allowance. To answer the third RQ question, is it financial literacy influencing their food expenditure? We can see that there is no statistically significant in summary stack table, and there's no big difference in the level of financial literacy among public university students that influence their food spending behavior. Okay, so let's move on to OLS estimation result. There are two OLS regression models. Panel A shows the estimation result for the model with food expenditure per day as its dependent variable. The model is divided into two sub-models, which are the M1 and M2 model. The M1 model is the lean model, where all the variables are in linear form. The coefficient for the monthly income variable suggests that when monthly income increases by RM1, food expenditure per day tends to increase by about 0.007 percentage on average, ceteris paribus. This result is supported by Bakhtiar, where it stated that food and drinks are the main categories where students spend their money. Moreover, when income rises, so does the amount spent. People need to maintain a constant level of living, which demand greater expenses as income rises, is the root causes of this issue. This stated by Sandra Segaran and Rambali. The next variable being examined is the family support, which is under the income sources. According to the predicted family support coefficients, when family provides monthly allowance to the children increase by RM1, food expenditure increase by about RM5 ringgit 73 cent. This can conclude that students are more dependent on family support, which the allowance for their food expenditure in the university. Okay, so let's move on to the model 2, which is the M2. This model is double log model where two of its variables are in the natural logarithm form, namely food expenditure per day and monthly income. So the estimated coefficient for the monthly income variable displayes that when monthly income increase by RM1, expenditure tends to increase by about 0.39 percentage on average. Income and expenditure are related, according to John Maynard Keynes' income expenditure theory. So the next variable is the family support. When parents or family members providing students monthly allowance, in this research, the estimated coefficient shows that in M2, when family support increases by RM1, expenditure tends to increase by 0.352 percentage on average. Ceteris paribus. The findings for this variable are scientifically significant. Based on Jamal 2015, which noted that parents have a significant impact on how their children behave financially. This research can say that among all the income sources, family support is the main financial support for the students in universities. In a nutshell, this paper investigates the determinants of high food expenditure among undergraduate students in Malaysian public universities that focusing on a sample of 99 respondents. The key objective include identify the main factor influencing food expenditure, examining the impact of income levels on students' spending, and assessing the role of financial literacy in their food spending behavior. The findings revealed that students' monthly income or allowance significantly influence their food expenses, primarily sourced from their family support. While the income level affects daily food consumption, financial literacy does not influence a statistically significant impact. And also, this research suggests that students tend to allocate more on food with increased monthly income and discuss also government initiative such as Menu Siswa Rama program, Food Bank Malaysia aim to lessen their financial burdens. This study recommends a larger sample size for future research and emphasize the need of policies addressing the root causes of student financial constraints, including potential increases in allowance or monthly income. So that's all from me, Jen. Thank you so much.